What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. Schmenna here, and you are watching what used to be called Tub Talk Tuesday, but is now renamed Tub Tea Talk. Thank you for joining me after this very long hiatus. Got the frankincense incense going. I'm burning a little cinnamon bark. I was gifted this for my birthday. It's supposed to be really good for prosperity and abundance. Because that is what I'm calling in for this new year. 2022, 222. Speaking of 222, I have been seeing lots of twos for the past month plus. And it's getting a little ridiculous because I've never seen an angel number that many times in that short amount of time, if that makes sense. And I feel like the universe is trying to tell me that this is my year. Is it feeling like that for any of y'all? 2022, just like this is your year. I feel like 2020, I was like clear vision, clarity. It was like a reflection of 2020. We got hit with the Rona and it was just a lot. I was like, okay, clearly we gotta sit our asses down and stay in the house. But 2021, I was feeling like, okay, yes, but I feel like it was a lot of trying things and just putting myself out there without really knowing what I was doing. I'm very proud of myself because I did accomplish a lot of beautiful things. But as y'all can tell, for any of you who are a part of my little community and was wondering where the I went, yeah, your girl disappeared for 8.5 months. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, I'm releasing the guilt of not being active, really. I can't even say consistent because consistency implies that you're just not posting enough, or you are, but I just wasn't posting. So yeah, we're just releasing that. Okay, 2021, we are clearing any lingering energy that may be holding us back for the new beginnings, the new blessings, opportunities, right, miracles of this year. And so I'm just gonna explain myself so that y'all are in the loop, because I have tried to make this video so many times and I just got overwhelmed or just didn't feel motivated, and I'm just going through a lot, okay? Speaking of which, my last video was clearly of me in my brand new office space that was the temple for Soleil, my creative wellness collective. I was so excited to move in, and I'm sure y'all could tell from that video just how happy I was. But due to some unforeseen circumstances, I had to move out like 2 months after moving in, which really hurt me on the inside. I mean, it's understandable. Anyone who would be in my position would probably feel the same. So I went through a lot of just processing of that situation while still trying to move forward, find a new space, and I just kept meeting different challenges when it came to picking up where I left off. And I feel like as much as I did allow myself to feel my emotions and, you know, move past it, there was a lot of hurt that lingered for longer than I was really aware of, and kind of just caused me to feel really overwhelmed and frustrated, and I just had a lot of pressure that I was putting on myself to like maintain that energy, since it was such a big thing that like I announced on Instagram, and you know, like all of my close friends, and just really wanting it to be this thing that I grew and nurtured nurtured and built from like the ground up. And I think I just got a little too discouraged, and it led me to just wanting to get away from LA entirely, to be honest. And so I did. And literally in August, right after I moved out of the last place I was living with Ned, my boyfriend, I took a trip to Kauai with my best friend Charmaine, who I visited Kauai for the first time with like 3 years ago. And it was just everything that I needed, connecting with nature and just not thinking about business and creative endeavors and all this like work that I felt like I had to do and like maintain, you know, my discipline and consistency in. I realized that I cannot give, especially to community, if I myself do not feel full within myself and whole in my own mind, body, and spirit. And it's pretty naive of me to think that I could still like hold space for like this community that I've built in person and online while feeling, you know, these vulnerable feelings that I was feeling. It's a lot of feelings. The funny thing is, I was out there for like 10, 11 days. I was really supposed to be there for 7 days, and then we extended our trip because it was just so beautiful. And one day I was meditating on a cliffside overlooking the ocean. I started crying because I just felt my purpose really like ground into like my heart space. Like it just felt like I know what I'm capable of and I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And then I felt like I just received this download during that meditation, like amidst my tears, that was literally the spirit of the island, Mama Kauai, as many like to call her, because she is a very divine feminine spirit.
Thank you, Kauai, for welcoming me, for embracing me, for holding my spirit.
And it was as if she was just like, Jenna, you need to come here for a little while. And you need to immerse yourself in nature. You need to slow down. And you need to gain some clarity. But you need to step away from the hustle and bustle of Los Angeles and not be putting so much pressure on yourself. When you come here, you'll figure it out. And that was one of the first times I really felt such a clear message from like a spirit, especially like of a land. The first time I came to Kauai, I instantly felt connected to her spirit because it is a very sacred island. There's so much just beautiful landscapes that have no like buildings. Like you can drive down the main highway and literally just see like glorious mountains and jungles and green trees, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And the waters are so healing, and it's literally like words can't truly describe how magical it is. And so after that meditation and download, literally shortly after, I just organically had an opportunity to do a work trade volunteer program, and I committed to 6 months and literally went back home and packed up all my shit in like 3 weeks, and then I was back on a plane to Kauai, and Ned came with me to help me move in and just settle into this new chapter of my life. And so yeah, since September I had been living in Kauai, and I'm back here in Wood or LA, and I'm in my parents' bathroom at the moment, but I'm actually headed back on Friday to return and finish the rest of my 3 months that I have left. And I'm really excited because the time like my little vacation coming here, I really just set the intention to really get a lot of things jump started that while in Kauai I had been like battling myself, feeling like, why aren't I getting these things done, blah 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 blah, and you know, why aren't I posting on YouTube, why aren't I like releasing these offerings through Lune Soleil, like not realizing that, like, girl, like, you just moved to the middle of the Pacific Ocean and you've never lived anywhere else in your entire life. I'm a Capricorn sun. Let me get one thing straight, okay? I'm a Capricorn sun, Virgo moon, and Taurus rising, and I feel like I'm just constantly like trying to like make shit happen, and I forget how important it is to just do nothing. Like, even if I'm meditating or journaling or, you know, doing like my spiritual practices, like there's still like this kind of sense of like urgency to like complete something that is very rooted in some traumas. But more so, I realized that my first 2.5 months really were just the island trying to get me to like stop what I'm doing and just literally slow down. Take a break, like an actual break, not a break from LA and then bringing LA energy to the island and trying to do all that shit here or over there. Ooh, I gotta take a breath. So I felt myself going through a lot of inner growth, growing pains for sure. Just things I never realized like even could affect me, because it could only be brought to the surface by moving to a different location that was completely different than what I'm used to living in. And I do feel extremely grateful, and I'll share more about just, you know, my first half of living in Kauai. I honestly already started editing videos and I've been filming so much since I got there, and literally just haven't felt motivated enough to like really put it out there. So thank you for being patient with me, because in terms of new beginnings and this new year, I really wanted to just set a new intention for myself to be more on top of my discipline, but in a way that doesn't feel like a pressure that's rooted in like capitalism and hard work for the sake of like success, but more so looking at it as a way of devoting my attention and intention to my goals, so that by the end of this year, when I reflect back, I can feel very proud of the efforts that I put towards making these rituals and these creative and business endeavors very seamlessly integrated into my lifestyle, as opposed to feeling like I have to force myself to like make a video on YouTube or force myself to put out, you know, something new for Lune Soleil, and, you know, really just having it be like, no, like this is my life, like this is my purpose, and this is how I want to experience everyday living, every week, every month. And it doesn't have to feel rooted in that like pressure. I want it to feel like excitement, like I get to do this, not I have to do this. And so I think I'll keep it at that in the sense of talking about myself. And really, I just wanted to share some thoughts about new beginnings, as clearly I've just shared a bunch of new beginnings with you all. But obviously it is a brand new year, and there can be those pressures to, you know, completely change your life, take on these new habits and routines and rituals, and it feels like you have to do that like January 1st. And I don't believe in that. I definitely do believe in using the momentum of the collective energy that New Year's brings to us as like one collective, like global soul, to inspire us and motivate us to take small steps and make small changes so that it gradually creates and transforms a new reality for us. So if you are feeling any pressure to want to change, your life, don't put so much pressure on yourself, and really just think about how you want to feel by the end of 2022. I feel like that's something that really helped me get more clear about what it is I even want to change, like in my habits, or as opposed to, just thinking about all these things that could be like amazing if I just embodied all of them all at once. But that doesn't serve me in the way that I flow through life, and I feel like it doesn't serve a lot of us. So yeah, I think looking at that bigger picture of like, okay, by the end of this year, because I'm sure a lot of us did a lot of reflecting at the end of 2021, and maybe it didn't feel so great. Maybe you did feel, really accomplished in some areas. I did, but I felt myself just like I felt like I was beating myself up for like not doing all these things that like I wanted to do, and I realized that it was because I was putting a lot of pressure to accomplish these goals without breaking them down. And I feel like if I would have looked at the bigger picture and then worked backwards to like come up with a more like plan that still invites flow and like flexibility and ease, then I could have made it more accessible to me, if that makes sense. Yeah, I hope that me sharing just my thoughts and just giving you guys a little update on where I've been and these new beginnings that I've embarked on, it inspires you or helps you in some way. I guess this is like also my way of letting you guys know that something that I've always wanted to do is just be consistent on my channel and upload regularly on a weekly basis. We are praying and affirming that I do stay consistent and committed to my goals, because I've decided that this year I am devoting my energy and my intention to myself. In accomplishing these goals, I am essentially expressing actions of love, care, and commitment to myself. So thank you for being here on the journey with me. I'm affirming that this year is filled with beautiful opportunities for creation, for love, for abundance and prosperity, for progress. Perfection is not the goal, progress is the motive. And yeah, thanks for being here. To finish off this video, I wanted to read a little page from this book called A Guide to the Advanced Soul. It's almost like picking an oracle card, but in book form. Literally it says, a book of insight. Hold a problem in your mind, open this book to any page, and there will be your answer. So I'm going to set the intention for whatever page I open up to specifically to serve as a reminder or a piece of wisdom to any of you who are watching and are here with me in this moment. Let it be a message that brings us clarity or guidance for the start of this new year. Alright, I'm gonna knock the deck actually. Okay, so I opened it to this page on the right, and it says, the snow goose need not bathe to make itself white. Neither need you do anything but be yourself. Lao Tzu. I probably pronounced that name incorrectly, but I love that. There you have it, folks. For your goals and dreams and desires to manifest for this year, don't feel like you have to do anything outside of just being who you are. Yay! I I love that. Take care of yourselves. Please don't put too much pressure on trying to reinvent yourself and take on all these new habits and goals and things. Take it easy, take it slow. I trust that this will be a beautiful year for all of us, and if you haven't been able to tell already, I have not spoken to a camera in like 8 months. So I've been feeling a little awkward, and that's okay because progress is better than perfection. Be easy, take a breath. Wishing you all an amazing start to 2022. I just have the best feeling about this year, and I know that anything that we desire and we see and envision for ourselves by the end of this year is bound to come true, so long as we hold that vision here in our heart space and we trust in our ability to make it come true, because in a sense it already is here, because time doesn't really exist. But that's another episode for Tough Tea Talk. Until then, I will see you next week in a brand new video, and